Welcome back to Burned Notice, a series that analyzes the actions of Michael Weston and his team. If you're new to the series, there is a link in the description down below with a playlist. And I can't believe I went this long without talking about the intro. It does an amazing job of catching people up, providing this show existed before binge watching a series on streaming services. Anyway, it also changes with the season, which is a nice touch. This episode starts with Mike lamenting about his family and Nate getting tossed out of an airplane hangar. And with some smooth talking, Nate gets away, but definitely worse for wear. That's when Michael shows up and Nate reveals that he took a job that forces Mike to help, and also sets up the main conflict for this episode, who actually owns the Charger. Nate believes that it's his because he worked on it, and Mike thinks that it's his because his father gave it to him, and this problem accentuates the relationship they had with their dad. Then we see Mike and Fee working on the Charger and discussing the job and car ownership, and that's when Fee finds a listening device planted by Sam, which starts an unannounced burden between Mike and Sam for the rest of the episode. However, Mike sees it as a benefit knowing who and where they are listening. Next we see Jake Miller, who works at the airport and got bribed by the guys who beat up Nate. And unfortunately, Jake did illegal things for this family. Also, Jake wants to just give the stuff back and forget this ever happened. But Mike knows this isn't going to be that simple. After meeting with Jake, Nate and Mike discuss finding their dad's will to figure out the whole car debacle. Afterwards, we see Mike and Sam doing reconnaissance, and Mike alludes to the listening device, and Sam is trying to play coy when they see the dad, Eli Zamar, smoking and doing a perimeter sweep of the airport, with Michael noting the alarm system and the cameras being top-notch. Unfortunately, Eli spots them, so they have to leave. Mike then uses Fee to gain some intel on the family, where she meets one of the sons, Ari, who is dumbfounded with someone attractive as Fee in the hangar, but she is quickly dispatched by the other brother and Eli. Fee discloses them as arms dealer due to her experience in the IRA. Fee also noticed the father's firearm that is also carried by Mossad, meaning Mike is dealing with an ex-spy. Then Mike talks to Jake and informs him to keep doing the family's bidding until he can get these Zamads busted with the guns. Next, as Mike and Sam are spying on the Zamars, Sam tries to reveal his listening device, but it gets interrupted when the family leaves to visit the warehouse. But the Zamars' guns are in a place that doesn't have many visitors, and Mike gets cornered and assumes he has to fight his way out when Sam saves his butt by acting the drunk, pissed off, and laid off worker. Mike then gives bad news to Jake that it's going to take a little bit longer to take down the family, but to continue working for them because...
Well, since they're probably planning on killing you if you say anything else, I'd suggest yes.
Back at the loft, they are trying to figure out the plan, with Fee cheekily adding to bug Ari's car. We then meet Debbie, Ari's girlfriend, and Sam bugs Ari's car while he is eating. And as Sam is using the bug, Mike comes back to the loft in order to make fake C4 and homemade actual C4 in an attempt to gain Ari's trust when Sam walks in with the cover ID, which is Steve Remington. Okay, seriously, what is Michael? Is he an action figure? Honestly, it doesn't make any sense that Ari didn't see through this facade. His name might as well be Chad America. There is no way Ari is this stupid. Anyway, Mike then goes to Maddie's house to help with the cover ID, and Nate is there combing through paperwork, and we also get some more backstory on Mike's past, but is short-lived because Mike goes to Ari's favorite club to meet with him, and by ordering his favorite wine shows that Mike would be a good companion. He also uses what he learned from the bug so that Mike and Ari can become fast friends. We also get hints of Debbie's lust for Mike. However, Mike introduces Ari to his business, with Mike leaving his card when Ari's brother shows up, who honestly I don't think actually gets a name. That is a little weird that they never actually name him. He's just always Ari's brother. brother. However, Ari does call Mike, and he shows the fake C4 and uses the homemade stuff as a demonstration. This does convince Ari to join in, and back at the loft, Fee acts somewhat jealous of Debbie. However, Mike does dismiss this, fast forwarding a bit, goes to meet with Ari and convinces him to show Mike the warehouse. Then Mike and Sam talk about the bug in Mike's car, which Mike has an alternative to the bug by letting Sam break into the loft, which is the same documents that he procured from a spy in an earlier episode. Back at the airport, Ari hits Jake to motivate him, and back at the club, Debbie meets with Mike to try to seduce him. Unfortunately, Ari does show up with a gun to Mike's chest, adding another number to the death count. However, Mike talks his way out of a 6-foot deep forever nap and convinces Ari Mike isn't trying to get at Debbie, and with this, Mike gets taken to the warehouse while being followed by Fee, where Mike sees the guns and finds out that the family has ties to the police and also have them on the payroll, complicating the plan and forcing Jake to have to talk to the family about Mike to scare Eli. And in the meantime, Sam breaks into the warehouse to steal the guns, leaving the business card as a cheeky way to say, "I'm watching you," which pushes Eli over the edge, and he finds the bug in Ari's car, all but forcing the family to flee. Then we see Mike talking to the family and letting them understand what actually is going on and how to deal with it going forward. After that, Sam talks to the FBI and shows them the documents that he found in Mike's loft. Sam gets informed that the FBI are off Michael's case and that some other agency is going to be watching him, which is a good idea. It shows us that the people who burned him have a lot more power than we previously thought. And during this exchange, Sam finds this girl who is Veronica. She kind of becomes a reoccurring character, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Finally, at Maddie's, Mike and Nate settle whose car by flipping for it. And of course, Mike wins, and Nate tries to steal Mike's wallet. This episode is basically filler, besides the Sam spying on Mike motif and the FBI leaving this episode. And it's mostly about the car besides the case. Still a good episode. Just wanted more about the burn notice. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, I have a separate series about the FBI profilers in the series Inside Criminal Minds. But as always, please like, share, and subscribe.